final speaker of the Global Virtual Summit 2026. So
Oh,
she is
nice.
Susan Loy, an international speaker, rapid transformational therapist, and nervous system expert. So she helps professionals overcome stress, anxiety, and insomnia and burnout by challenging the subconscious patterns behind them. So her talks are simple, engaging, and practical. And Susan works with the leaders and professionals around the world from her base in the Clifton, New Jersey. So that was a wonderful bio, Susan. So all the stage yours and all the best.
All right. Thank you. And thank you for that nice intro. So, how many of you have stared at the ceiling at 3 a.m.? How many of you are exhausted and cannot fall asleep? Can you please put up the first slide? I can't see the hands, but AI says 2 out of 3 people have insomnia. Is that because you've trained yourself not to sleep? Of course, unconsciously. So you can take away the slide, and you're addicted, though, to insomnia. So many people with insomnia believe that their body has forgotten how to sleep. But I see it differently. Your nervous system is like a guard dog. So you can put up the next slide, please. So a guard dog's job is to protect you. It listens for danger, it stays alert, and it tries to keep you safe. But sometimes, after years of stress, pressure, or experiences that taught your brain to stay on watch, that guard dog doesn't know when the shift is over. So it keeps standing at the door, even when you're finally safe at home. Sleep begins when we teach that guard dog that it doesn't have to stay on duty all night. So please take that slide away. And sleep is controlled by your nervous system. Please put up the next slide. Thank you. When you calm the nervous system, you create a sense of safety, and safety allows the body to return to the state where rest and repair can happen naturally. Okay, you can remove that slide. So you're tired. You want to sleep. Tomorrow matters. And yet your mind seems determined to keep going. Please put up the next slide. So you look at the clock and then you do the math. If I fall asleep right now, I'll get 5 hours. A little later, if I fall asleep right now, I'll get 4 hours. Then you say, if I fall asleep right now, I'll get 3 hours. And suddenly, you're no longer dealing with sleep. You're dealing with anxiety. Take that slide away. For years, I thought insomnia was my problem. I believed something was wrong with me. I believed my body had forgotten how to sleep. I believed I had to fight harder, try harder, try to control sleep. But the harder I tried, the worse it became. Then I discovered something that changed everything. My problem wasn't sleep. My problem was the relationship I had with my thoughts, the guard dog. And that discovery led me to a simple idea, simple, that transformed not only my own sleep, but my energy, resilience, and well being. Once I slept, anxiety lessened, confidence grew, energy returned, my focus sharpened, cravings diminished, and relationships were happier. Here's the discovery I learned: thoughts create your feelings, your emotions. The way you feel creates the actions, the outcomes. Please put up the next slide. So, you've all heard this before. As you're reading it, mind over matter. Words create your reality. Where your focus goes, your energy goes. And you can see I have a few more. So if you read them, I know you've heard these expressions, and this is exactly what I mean. Okay, so I know you're reading them and familiar. So now you can take the brain slide away and let me show you what I mean. Everyone, close your eyes. I want you to imagine holding a bright, yellow, juicy, ripe lemon. Notice its color, yellow, bright yellow, its texture, it's bumpy. Now imagine with a small knife on a small cutting board, and you're going to cut that lemon in half. Just imagine this. Take one half, bring it up to your nose, and smell it. And you can smell how tart and how sour it is. Now take that half that you just smelt, put it in your mouth, and take a big bite. Ah, the juice sprays out all over your mouth. And what happens? Well, for many of you, maybe you felt your mouth water, or maybe your eyes squinted from the sourness, or maybe your face tightened because it's so tart, or your tongue tingled from the lemon juice. Why? Keeping your eyes closed. There was no lemon, just the imagery of a lemon, the thought. Yet your body responded like there was a lemon. That's how powerful thoughts are, because your mind doesn't know an imagined event or a real event that's happening right now in real time. It's why athletes, musicians, artists, and others rehearse their vision in order to perform optimally. Okay, you can open your eyes. You see, your body's listening to every thought you think. And every thought is information. Every thought is instruction. Every thought is shaping your nervous system. So now let's try something else. I want you to close your eyes again. I want you to breathe normally and think about a problem you've been worrying about recently. Maybe a deadline, maybe a health concern, but hopefully not. Maybe bills or a difficult conversation that you just had. So you're worrying. Notice what happens to your body. Just notice it. Did your shoulders go up and tighten? Did your breathing change? Did you feel something in your stomach? Did it react? Did you feel maybe overall tenseness? Maybe. So keeping your eyes closed, breathing normally, I want you to think about someone you love deeply. It could be your spouse. It could be your child or niece or nephew, any child that you love deeply. It could be your best friend, any friend that you love and care about. It could be your grandchild, maybe your parent, maybe a favorite memory of someone you love deeply. Notice what happens in your body. Again, nothing in the room has changed, and your body follows suit from those deep, loving memories of someone that you love. Maybe your shoulders relaxed. Maybe your stomach calmed down. Maybe your jaw or your chest relaxed. Maybe your breathing got slower or deeper. Maybe you smiled or got goosebumps. Okay, open your eyes. See, that's the relationship between the mind and the body. Your thoughts about a recent problem had you react tense and tight. But thinking about someone you love deeply cascaded into your emotions, into your heart. And there was warmth and tenderness. So, whatever you plant in your mind, it's going to cascade into your feelings, and nowhere is that relationship more obvious than with insomnia. So when you can't sleep, your thoughts sound like this. What if I'm exhausted tomorrow? What if I can't function? What if this never changes? Now you could already feel the tenseness. What if something's wrong with me? Every one of those thoughts creates anxiety. And every anxious feeling activates your nervous system. Just like when you were thinking about a problem, a worry. And so, if your nervous system is activated and it's on alert, your nervous system is going to do exactly what it was designed to do. It's going to stay alert. So, of course, to the degree of the stress, the alertness is either going to be mild or full blown out. Your body isn't broken. Your mind and body is protecting you, because that's what the mind is geared to do. The problem is that your mind has turned bedtime into a threat. When it's quiet and you're ready to sleep, you're maybe alone. The kids, your spouse are asleep, and your everyone's survival habit, the protection mind mechanism reappears. At that moment, you can't control or change the deadline. You can't do something or anything about the difficult conversation you had earlier in the day. You really can't do much about the health concern at that very moment. But every night, this loop reappears. It's an addiction. When I couldn't sleep, I realized something so important. Insomnia is often anxiety wearing pajamas. The same thought patterns that create stress during the day creates wakefulness at night. You're not asleep because you're awake. The pressure, the worry, the need to control, the fear of uncertainty, the unknown, the future. The nervous system doesn't distinguish between a tiger in the room, and a catastrophe you're imagining at 3 in the morning. Your nervous system responds to either. And once I understood that, my questions changed. I stopped asking, why can't I sleep? Most likely, no rational, logical answer. But I started asking, what am I teaching my nervous system now? That one question changed everything. And here's why I care so deeply about insomnia. Here's a story. When I was 2 or 3 years old, I learned how to run. Not on a playground, but inside my own home. Homeless men would break in, sleep on our beds, and stole everything. Being frightened at that age, I ran. That was my autopilot. There were moments when my body had to move fast. It had to stay alert. I sensed danger before my mind could understand it. I was so scared. I didn't know the word hypervigilance then. I was 2 or 3. But my nervous system sure did. So that early learning shaped how my body related to sleep for decades. Nights, I stayed awake, scared. Mom was incarcerated almost all my life. I had an absentee dad. He worked day and night, not having a high school diploma, coming over at 15 with my mom. So he had to work 2 jobs to sustain the home. And my body learned, and my mind, they learned to scan for danger. And even as an adult, I only slept 2 or 3 hours a night for almost my entire life until I was 69 when it caught up to me. So when I say insomnia is not a sleep problem, it's not. It's the symptom. I didn't sleep. I had insomnia because my nervous system was in survival mode. Not just because when it was 2 or 3 and the homeless broke in, but until, like I said, for 7 decades. I learned a pattern that, and just like millions of people are doing the same thing, they may not be running from homeless men like I was, but running. If you have insomnia, your mind is running. Maybe it's from people pleasing. Maybe it's from perfectionism. Maybe it's ruminating thoughts of imposter syndrome. Or it's the loop of not knowing the future and the uncertainty of whether you're going to succeed or make it or have what you want, the relationship, uh, success, whatever. But it's some fear, some lack of control, it's some unknown. So please put up the next slide. The insomnia is not because you're broken. It's not because you're failing. It's not because you don't know enough sleep tips. You've heard them all. As you see on the slide, I know you've heard about the melatonin, the magnesium. So you cannot control sleep. Okay, you can take away the slide. So it happens that you can't sleep because your nervous system has learned to stay alert, like mine was, frightened and running. So we're all high achievers. We all take on many, many responsibilities. We all know how to solve problems. We know how to anticipate what could go wrong. We all take care of everyone else. We're all in control. And these qualities helped us create successful careers. But, this is a big but, they often created exhausted nervous systems and an activated, alert nervous system follows you into bed. And you know what that feels like. Next slide, please. So your body is tired, but your mind is awake. Your head hits the pillow, and suddenly you're reviewing conversations from the day, planning tomorrow, solving problems, worrying about your business, the children, your future, maybe your health or somebody else's health. And on the mind just keeps going. Okay, remove that slide. And then you start watching the clock. It's 11:30. It's 12:15. It's now 1 in the morning. Now you're not only awake, but you're also stressed out. Let's do something again. I want you to close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and release through your mouth. And now just breathe normally. Imagine the most comfortable bed you've ever been in. You have the perfect pillow. The room is at the perfect temperature. The sheets are so soft. You know there's nothing to finish. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to solve. only just rest, just recovering, just peace. You matter, and you want to give your body the regeneration and rejuvenation it deserves. So feel your shoulders soften. Feel your jaw release. Allow yourself to experience what safety feels like. Open your eyes. A different experience, right? That's the different pictures, different thoughts, different words, sentences, verbiage, cascading to your different feelings and emotions. And that creates a different habit, different actions. It's producing a different outcome. This is why sleep hygiene alone often isn't enough. Sure, the room is dark, you've had your magnesium, melatonin, you're smelling your lavender, you've got the sleep apps going, you got the weighted blanket on. They're helpful, but incomplete. I'm not saying to have all of that in place. Have it, because they are helpful. Because if your nervous system still believes it needs to stay alert, every sleep strategy becomes another form of pressure. And pressure is the opposite of safety. So you can't force sleep. You can only create the conditions for sleep. And these conditions, calming the nervous system, it begins internally, inside, up here first, inside your mind. This is where awareness becomes powerful. Before we can change a pattern, we have to notice it. Next slide, please. Your actions will inform you of your thoughts. Reverse engineer. Notice the urges, your actions to maybe check the clock. Notice the urge to grab your phone. Notice the urge to maybe solve tomorrow's problems at 2 in the morning. By noticing the actions first, because we're going backwards now. Remember, thoughts, feelings, actions. You're going actions because they're easier. They're the easiest, actually, to spot. Then notice the feelings that are associated with those actions. If you need to check your breathing or any tightness in your body, say your shoulders, your jaw, your eyes, pay attention and relax them. The shoulders, the jaw, the chest. Pay attention to your mind and your entire body. Then you can know by being aware of your thoughts. So you've recognized the actions, you know the feelings and the emotions. Now you remember the awareness of your thoughts, the words, the sentences, the paragraphs of what's in your mind, and that will allow you the awareness of your feelings and therefore your actions. And then, once you're aware, you can create choice. Once you're aware, choice creates change. It's the most powerful shift I teach my clients. And that's changing their language, their words and sentences, their thoughts. And whatever that story is up here in your mind, that's recycling every night. You've got to remember thoughts create your feelings, your emotions, and those feelings cascade into your actions, your habits. It dictates your outcome. And of course, your outcome is you want to sleep. So pay attention to your thoughts. You can take away that slide, and you saw at the end of that last slide, you saw the words like most people say, I have to go to sleep, or I need to fall asleep. Think about those words. Go somewhere, fall asleep, have to, you need to. Those words all suggest effort and work. If you have to go somewhere, the nervous system is like, oh, I'm going to stay awake. We're going somewhere. Fall? All babies, that's their worst fear, is falling. So the opposite of alert is calm. So instead, try this. You know there's nowhere to go. So instead, say, I allow sleep to come to me. I choose peace. I deserve sleep. You're not falling. You're being held, hugged by the mattress, by your pillow, by the comforter. And when your mind wants to return to the old pattern of saying, should fall asleep, have to go to sleep, gently remind yourself you're not going anywhere, you're not falling. Say this instead: my peace and my sleep are more important than my old programming. Again, say this softly, repeat it again, softly and calmly. My peace and my sleep are more important than my old programming. This is nervous system regulation. It's not force, not struggle, but safety. And here's the beautiful part: when sleep heals, life heals. Can you put on the next slide? Let
So
me
it
repeat.
is, yeah, it is a last slide. So
Okay,
it is 2 hours.
okay. Anxiety softens when you sleep, cravings diminish, focus sharpens, patience returns, relationships improve, confidence rises, energy increases. Once you sleep, everything goes upstream. So there's so many benefits of a good night's sleep. And I thank you for listening. Try everything that I've just mentioned. And if there's any questions, put them in the chat and I'll be glad to answer them. Thank you.
Yeah, Susan, that was a wonderful session. So we do have a couple of questions. So I will be picking the best one out. So it is from Arlinda. So what's one simple technique people can use tonight to sleep better?
Okay, from what I said, you've got to softly and repeat calmly. Tell yourself, sleep is coming to me. Repeat that again and again. Sleep is coming to me. Do not say, I have to go to sleep, because that's only going to make your nervous system on alert. Because if it has to go somewhere, it has to stay up. Don't say, I have to fall asleep, because if you're going to fall, the body has to stay up because it's got to catch itself, right? You got to put your arms down or whatever. So just tell yourself, allow sleep to come to me. I do have a sleep method. The sleep stands for the acronym. S is for surrender. L is to let go. The first E is envision quiet. The second E is enter peace. And the P stands for peace. So you could use the sleep acronym method. Try that, Linda. Is there another question? Hmm.
Yeah, Susan.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't
So
see it in the chat.
so there is another question from Alina. So what
Okay.
was the biggest breakthrough in your own sleep journey?
What is the biggest
Break-
breakthrough of falling asleep gently?
In your own sleep journey.
Oh, in mine? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that last slide. That's my tracking. Did you see it? It was the black
Okay.
on the side and it said 92. So my biggest breakthrough is that I get excellent sleep scores. I get I get the deep I need, I get the REM I need, I get the light sleep. I oh yeah, I track my excellent sleep score. That's a huge breakthrough from someone who only 6 years ago couldn't sleep through the night. 2 or 3 hours. That is a huge breakthrough. Yep. And that's what we all want.
Yeah. So thanks for answering all the questions, Sujan. So we will be sending the remaining questions to your email directly. So you please answer them. So thanks for your time and have a great day.
All right, so when do I get to see it?
Sorry.
When are these loaded? Or
So you can,
I'll find out.
yeah, you just
Thank you.
press.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
So, ladies and gentlemen, so as we come to the end of day 4 Global Virtual Summit 2026, and I would like to sincerely thank you and everyone of you making this event a great success, and a heartfelt thank you to inspiring speakers for sharing your knowledge and experiences. So, thank you all participants, attendees, and organizing committee. So, moderators, technical team, and volunteers for your dedication, support, and active participation. So, over the past 4 days, we have learned, connected, and inspired one another, and your contribution has made the summit truly meaningful and memorable. So, we are grateful that you joined us on this journey, and we look forward to our welcoming you again for our next Global Virtual Summit the next year. So, until then, let's continue to learn, inspire, and connect and create a better future together. So thank you once again for being with us. So this is John signing off and take care. See you at the next Global Virtual Summit. Namaste.